Roger Steele, welcome to
What's
the
up, man?
backdrop. You know, for a
What's
little,
up?
this is an exciting day for me, man. I am so pumped to have you on the show. I was getting a little nervous though. I thought I was getting LA big timed.
Bro, I could never. I could never. That's like one of my things, bro. Like in my DMs, it's like I respond to every single DM. I would never, I've been on the receiving end of that too much to ever, make anybody go through that, especially as long as I can help it. You know
Well,
what I mean?
you're a Chicago guy, so I knew you'd come through. I was a
Yeah,
little worried that you had lived in LA too long
yeah.
and they got to you.
It's some toxic. No, you pick up some toxic stuff out there though, dog. Like you stay in LA too long, you start doing all types of stuff weird. Like I was going through my pictures, had way too many selfies in my phone for a little bit. I'm like, what the hell going on? It's not even you, dog. It's not even you. But no, man, I can't embody any of those toxic traits like that.
Well, I'm glad we got you back to the Midwest, man. It's obviously not golf weather out there, but you're back in Chicago now, right?
Yeah.
But you were
For a few days.
you were bouncing back and forth from Cali. One thing I wanted to ask you about was Pebble. I have not played Pebble Beach. I saw that you got to play there in December. How was it?
Man, Pebble was like immaculate, man. Like it's just, being from the Midwest, you just don't have this appreciation for how golf coincides with nature. Like golf in Chicago, we got some dope golf courses. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but like you go out to like the West Coast, you know what I mean, and mountains and like actual earth, and it's just a lot to take in, and I think that Pebble definitely didn't disappoint on the views. But something that I will say that may be unpopular opinion, Bandon though, Bandon. See, the thing about Pebble was that like, even though it was beautiful, it was iconic. I used to play Pebble on my Tiger Woods, video games and stuff like that. Like
Yep.
I was just, amped up for it. Pebble, it just felt like commercial almost. It was beautiful, but it felt commercial. There's a lot of people there, y'all passing back and forth, and this is even during COVID. Like you just saw a lot, you saw houses and cars and stuff like that. But when you go out to Bandon, dog, it's just all golf. You know what I mean? It's all like, it's like, yo, where the hell am I? Like I could die out here and nobody would find me for like 2 weeks. Like, oh, this is crazy. You know what I mean? But and so I think that, even though Pebble, it definitely didn't disappoint whatsoever. I still think that like if I had a choice and I could pick between Pebble and Bandit, I might lean into Bandit. You know what I mean?
I like hearing
But
that. We actually NewClub's going there in December for our
yeah,
winter meeting.
bro,
So it is kind of, I don't know if there's a golf heaven, but if there is, it's probably something like Bandon.
bro. It's a pain in the ass just to get out there. And so you like frustrated, you like, what the hell? Like, have me sitting on this 2-seater plane to get in the whatever, 4-hour drive, and then you get to the course and you're like, oh, shit, I liked it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really think that part of it was like super dope. You know what I mean?
Everyone likes debating what is their favorite golf course at Bandon. What's your favorite golf course at Bandon?
Why we even gotta do that though, dog? It's just like comparing
Stack
goats.
rank them. I want you to stack rank.
Man, make a choice, make decisions. But no, it's like I think that like, man, it's tough, dog. Like I wish that I would have played Pacific Dunes when it wasn't so windy. Cause that course, like it was literally blowing like 40 or something like that. Like I saw my boy hit a shot. I hit a shot and then I saw my boy hit a shot. And this is the first time I've ever seen how balls fly backwards when they're coming down, when you hit them into the wind. I was like, yo, what the hell? Like, so it's just kind of like Bandit showed me some things on the wind side coming off that ocean on Pacific Dunes. I thought Pacific Dunes was beautiful. I thought Trails though was like even though it didn't have no ocean holes, it was like every single hole that you like went to, you walked out and it was like a new world every single hole. And I'm like, yo, this is dope as hell. I don't know what I'm getting into around the corner. And so I thought that, Bandon Trails was dope. I played the best at Old Mac. You know what I mean? Like that's why I shot my lowest score. I think I don't know what it was. I might have shot even at OMAC.
That's a
And
good
then
plan. I think that's the toughest track.
Yeah, Sheep Ranch was like, you know, it was beautiful, had some beautiful ocean holes there, man. It's like, how could you can't compare none of those, dog. Just like shut up and go play. You know what I mean?
That is some
Shut
real
up and go
talk.
play.
That is some real
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
We'll get to your real talk too. But first I saw and this is probably releasing in March. So was in February. You were an honorary spectator with your guy Willie Mack at Riv.
Mm-hmm.
Any good stories from the week? Very few spectators out there right now. So you were kind of
very few, dog. Very few. It was like shocking, like how quiet it was out there. You know, and I took it upon myself because okay, Willie Mack, he was playing in the last group of the day with like, you know, like a college player, you know, that was an amateur and another pro. What's it? He's actually pretty good too. Augustin, I forget what his name is, but look, so they playing in the last group, and I know this, and plus I've been an honorary spectator before. Harold Varner was playing up at the Northern Trust, and me and my boy Aaron Hicks was honorary spectating in. So he kind of set the bar high for like what you would expect as an honorary spectator, right? So like we at the Northern Trust, police escorted us into the ropes. Maybe because he played for the Yankees, you know, it was just like they were super lenient. But we was able to just follow the scorer like around the court. So when the scorer walked places, as long as we stayed within the arm's reach of him, like it was all good. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, you know, it was like, you're an honorary spectator. She was telling me some rules and stuff. And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? It's cool. And so we get out there and I'm just, you know, doing my thing, following the, you know, score around. And so we get to the 8th hole and then the head of security come up here like, sir, I'm going to have to get off the fairway. And so then I took that a little personal because I'm like, bro, it's nobody out here. There's obviously no cameras following us. You know what I mean? Like, what's the big deal here? Sir,
I'm keeping my social distance. I'm not within 6 feet of anybody.
I was getting a little close, you know, some, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? But you know, it was just dope to like walk around Riv, and I hate that, you know, maybe I disrespected the event a little bit by almost getting kicked out. I also brought my camera because I was like, yo, why would y'all invite me knowing that I shoot content and not want me to, you know, and you know, whatever. I had my camera out and he's like, sir, I need you to put your camera away and I need you to get over by the ropes. I'm like, bro, why you letting me inside the ropes just to be on the other side of the ropes? Like, you know, you could have just, I don't even need to be honorary at that point. I'm just a spectator. You know what I mean? Like if you want me all the way up, you know, I thought I had more leeway as far as being up close on the action. But outside of that though, it was pretty dope walking around Rio. And just a note on Willie Mack though, bro, like he is a dog, bro. And I say that like, you know, I'm the king of telling people that they trash, but like this dude, man, like if you would have seen it, it was like, I think he shot 4 over the second day. But if you would have watched him from a ball striking perspective, you would have been like, how? Like how? You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, I've seen Willie play enough and seen him putt enough, and like I've seen him shoot like mid 60s. I know he shot a 60 in a Corn Ferry Monday qualifier. Like he can play. But when you saw how he was taking Riv apart, dog, like from a ball striking perspective, I was like, oh shit, like this dude really belong out here. And it was just the most casual thing ever. Like he was just, like gusting into because it was windy out there, gusting into the wind. Tee it down like a half inch off the ground, flighted draw. I'm like, what the hell? Like it was just like, you know, downwind, high fade, You could just tell everything was super intentional. And I enjoyed that. It made me comfortable seeing him play like that because I know that like I put my stamp on him all day, every day. Like I go, you know, if any PGA people hit me up, if any like, you know, tournament directors hit me up, I'm like, yo, if y'all got any sponsors exemptions, I know who y'all should get it to right away. You know what I mean? And you know,
and like you said, striking the ball around that place that week. I mean, the wind was howling and the conditions were tough. How long have you known Willie? Like, where do you guys go back to?
Man, so funny. So back in like 2014, Willie probably ain't gonna like this story, but
Even
2013,
better.
2014. No, this might have been 2014, 2015, but I was just getting back into golf. You know what I mean? So like I had quit golf all through college. Like, you know, I didn't even like golf as a kid. My dad like really pushed me into it and made me stay in it during high school. But quit golf. And then I was kind of picking it back up in 2013. By 2014, 2015, I'm like, yo, I need to quit my job. I need to figure out, how the hell I could do something golf oriented. So I'm on Instagram, and of course, like as a black dude, you see a black golfer, you like, yo, I gotta follow this dude. I look at his swing, I'm like, yo, this swing is dope. Like about to slide in the DMs. So I slid in Willie DMs, like, yo, what's good, bro? Like I see you in Orlando. I'm about to come down there for a trip, man. What's up? And Willie was like, who the hell are you? I was like, man, bro, like I love what you're doing, dog. I'm trying to get down there. He was like, all right, bro. He's like, and then I was telling him at the time, like, bro, I want to figure out how I can play professionally and stuff. And he was like, what do you shoot? And I was like, you know, like mid-70s par sometimes, you know what I mean? And then he just like stopped responding. And I was like, all right, that's cool. That's cool. So then like I was just harassing him. I'm harassing him. So I come down to Orlando. I'm like, yo, I'm in Orlando. He's like, yeah, I'll let you know if I got time, you know what I mean? Whatever. So then I was out in Orlando with my boy, and then we went out in downtown Orlando, and then I wound up running into Willie at a bar. You know what I mean? Like randomly just see him like, yo, it's the fucking dude over Instagram. And he's like, yo, what's up, man? And then he just kind of like wiggle his way out of there or whatever. So that's where me and Willie started. You know what I mean? So where it started versus where it is now. And I wound up moving to Orlando for a little bit. And then, like kind of getting more in the mix in the golf community down there. Like everybody was at Disney, like they all practice at the Disney course down in Orlando. And so just kind of like being around Willie, like, seeing how he interacted with the people, kind of more of like a leader, but then kind of like off to himself too, right? You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys was down there kind of chit-chatting and stuff, like casually practicing. Willie put his headphones in on the putting green, you know what I mean? While everybody else hitting balls. People go hit balls, Willie go to the driving range, you know what I mean? People back to the driving range, Willie go play, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like he was around and engaging, but he was kind of like more singular focused than I thought a lot of people were at the time. And I definitely took note of that. And then, like from there, we kind of started to like engage a bit more. And then it's kind of like organically built, I would say, over the last like 5 or 6 years into like, he's definitely somebody that I'm proud to say I know and I talk to on a regular basis. You know what I mean? And all of the accolades and the opportunity that he getting, man, I couldn't be prouder, and more willing and able to support.
And you got a lot of game yourself, so I don't want to sell you short. You do have a lot of golf game, but I always like asking people that do have good golf game. You probably got the friends that are always saying, "Yo, man, you got to turn pro. Look at your swing. Look how far." But you've spent time with guys like Willie Mack, and you spent time with these guys. What are the things that make them different? Like you said, Willie's just different. But what is it about that group of guys that you've been around, or pros in general, that you just say, man, I don't have what they have. I don't have what that is right there.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I can't say that they have something that I don't have. But what I do know that they do have is like it's a range of like scoring, and it's a range of like trashness that they would never get into. You know what I mean? Like they ceiling as far as like, or like I guess their floor is like way the fuck higher than like mine. Sometimes I get on the golf course and I'm like, bro, I just don't got it. Like I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, it's like you get in a fight with somebody throwing punches, and it's like every time you throw a punch, you get hit in the face. And something that made this evident, and and it's not just from a ball striking perspective, it's not just a short game perspective, a lot of it boils down to like experience and knowledge and just like an understanding of how to score that I think that really good players have that a lot of great amateurs don't. Like a pro know how to keep it pro at all times. Worst case scenario, bro, I'm hungover and my leg hurt. I'm gonna get it in at even par. You know what I mean? Like whatever. And I go out there and be like, shit, man, this mid 80 staring me dead in the face, dog. I don't know what to do about
I'll
it.
take some pictures instead today.
Yeah, bro. Like I was down. I played in the Advocate Store event. Just to give you like a more concrete example, played in the Advocate Store event that came to TPC Deer Run in Chicago. Not in Chicago, in Illinois. It's like 2.5 hours from Chicago. This is my first time I've ever been down there. So I'm kind of down there because I was raising money because I wanted to give a donation to the top performing, Black players down there on behalf of my organization, right? And so I was down there kind of like politicking and stuff. And, I knew I had been playing pretty good, like when I'm playing out casually, like I was hitting the ball decent, wedging it decent. And I was like, man, if I focus, I'm probably playing pretty good. You know what I mean? And so if I, in tournament environments, I tend to like just like kind of hyper focus and I could pull it together, even if I haven't been like competing and stuff. I kind of like lock in when it's stuff on the line. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna make this donation, talk to the Advocate Store people like, yo, do y'all have any more amateur slot set? They're like, yeah, we got a couple left. So, I sign up and register. I'm gonna play in the tournament just to see why I stack up, you know what I mean? And so, bro, I get down there, play a little piece of a practice round, like, whatever. And this is my complacency too. Like I kind of disrespected like what was going on and how serious I should have been taking it. Bro, I get out there, dog, and I can't, like, but how solid I'm hitting the ball, there was no way for me to make a par for like 7 or 8 holes straight. And it was like, bro, what the hell is going on? This is not the course that I was practicing yesterday. Like, what the hell changed? And so what they did was they put the pins in the Saturday, Sunday pins that they use for the Deer Run, right? And so what was happening was I hit a shot in the fairway. I see the pin, like, I don't know where your game is, but like, it's like, yo, I got 125 yards, 150 yards in the fairway, like I'm hitting it at the fucking pin. And it's like, no, you can't do that, because if you hit it at the pin and you like 5-10 feet right, it's coming off the green. Or like if I put a back pin placement and you long, it's hitting hard and it's going into the fescue. And it was like, or like if you know what I mean? Like if you hit it above the pin, like you can't stop this putt anywhere near the hole. You know what I mean? And so like my whole approach to preparation, it was like, yo, I was hitting quality shots, bro. I'm not kidding. I really wish somebody was there to like attest to this. I was hitting quality golf shots and making double bogeys.
Yep.
And I'm like, yo, what the hell is going on? And then you see somebody like Willie, and he like, bro, like, why were you doing that? Like, I just went to the middle of the green, and and it was just like this understanding of like, it's certain golf courses you can't take nothing from. You got to accept what it gives you. And it was like that whole mentality. I just felt I felt like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like I felt like a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you can't have what you want. I want what I want.
But I also felt stupid. I was like, man, like going at all of these pins and just, it was embarrassing, dog. So I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna just take pictures for a little while. I went down here to play no way, you know what I mean? Whatever. But yeah, I think that from a professional level, it's like so much more than just the ball striking and the execution of the shots. It's really like the approach. Like a professional has a different approach to the game. And they have, from an informational perspective, from a shot selection and strategy perspective, that a lot of amateurs and people with raw talent just don't have.
I like how you compared it to pin hunting too, because I noticed the pros that I hang out with and talk to, they know their games so well. Like that 125-yard shot, they know what their dispersion is. So if they see that there's only 5 yards left of the pin, then they're going to be so many yards to the right of the pin on their line. And they know that that's the spot to putt from. And I just don't have that level of, I don't know if it's detail orientation or focus, but.
And then that too, and then understanding like spin rates, bro, is like crazy. You start like really starting to understand spin rates and like the impact that has on like your total distance. You know what I mean? And it's like, man, people like, I consider myself, like you said, a decent player. I don't really know how the fuck far I hit my clubs. Like when you get down to it, it's like, I got like this 10-yard range that this club generally goes. It's like, bro, that's literally the difference between you being like automatic 3-putt and, you know what I mean, like off the green. Like your variance as far as like where you gonna leave this ball. You have no control of it. You can't play high level golf like that. You know what I mean? So pros they just understand how to take all of the variables out of their decision making and like just, yeah,
So
man. It's a
I,
different game.
I was gonna ask you about the GOAT at Riv, and if you were able to meet the GOAT, and and
Yeah.
uh, instead I'm gonna, and he's been in the headlines a lot, obviously right now, but your real talk this morning actually.
Yeah.
So if anyone that's listening doesn't follow Roger Steele, he was voted the 2020 Golf Digest person you didn't know you need to follow.
Yeah.
So just if that's not enough to get you out there and give them a follow, it is entertaining stuff. My favorite thing on the internet right now is your real talk. Hashtag
Oh, man.
RILL talk.
I smell
So
a little bullshit in there, but I ain't gonna say, yeah, it's all
I
good.
a little bit, yeah, but I do,
Yeah,
man. I really do enjoy these because they're entertaining. They talk about topics we're all already thinking about. The one on Patrick Reed,
yeah.
I was rolling. I was I too have finished Sopranos not that long ago, and that felt like a very
Yeah, man.
Sopranos deal.
Yeah, man. I thought that like the Patrick Reed stuff and just like, my boy Danny Wax. And Danny had some like personal, run-ins with him. And it was like that shape that anytime your boys got like any type of issues with people, like on some Soprano stuff, like if y'all got a problem, we got a problem. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, I was like, man, once I heard that, I was like, I don't care who vouched for him. Like, dog, you disrespected my boy, dog. I can't, you know what I mean? I can't let that slide. And then you start to see like different stuff that he's doing, man. And, you hear the stories and it's just too much of the stuff. It just intertwines. And like, yo, there has to be something, up with this dude, dog. And so, I just, if I can't obviously speak from, a place of, all knowingness or omniscience as far as like, did he do X, Y, Z or whatever. But if I had to put my money somewhere, you know what I mean? I'm gonna call a spade a spade, and I think that's how it happened. You know what I mean? So
He's feeling around down there, it looked like he
yeah,
shifted his weight a little bit.
nothing of it made nothing about it. Like who just walk up to a ball in the rough? Like did it bounce? Like I would never even think to do that before I looked at the ball, dog. Like he was 10 yards away from the ball. Like did it bounce? I'm like, bro, go assess your lie first. What? You know what I mean? Like
the order,
what are you talking about?
the order of operations of the whole thing. That's what threw me off. It's just like everything was out of order. No one does that.
He was just like a criminal trying to cover his steps, like, and just did it in the wrong sequence. Like, bro, if you would have just got over the ball, then as did it bounce, I would have been like, oh, he saw something that looked a little weird. But bro, you gonna ask that shit walking up? Come on, bro. I'm not stupid. And then you obviously somebody done paid off the damn official that come over there. Can I touch it? Is it? I'm like, oh dog, this is fishy here. Patrick Reed, a made man, dog. Gotta be.
You've been doing the real talks for a little while. What are you learning from doing these videos when you put them out there in the golf world?
You know what? That's an interesting question. Like, I don't feel like I'm learning anything. It's just like a chance for me to like vent all of this weird shit I be thinking. I'm glad that I have like an outlet for it. You know what I mean? Like I was talking to, like I got an agent now, you know what I mean? Big time. You know what I mean? It was like, yo, do you want us to plug you into this analytics software so you could kind of see what's happening on the metric side of it? Like with your engagement, so you could kind of see what things are resonating with people. I'm like, bro, I just want to like get this shit off my chest. And then like if people like it, they like it. If they don't, you know what I mean? It's like this is just like my little like open diary, you know what I mean, in a sense. And so I haven't been like learning this much, but what I have been enjoying is like the community that you're able to build around like authenticity and like just expressing yourself, right? Like the people that I've been talking to, like, if when I be out and people stop me, like, oh, yo, I follow you, you funny. I'm like, bro, like that's so dope. Like I'm meeting this person because like they rock with my thoughts, you know what I mean? And it's like, man, there's a lot of like power and beauty in that. So I'm appreciative of that component of it. But
this is a good example of that, because without those videos and your presence, I wouldn't know that we would hit it off or that I'd enjoy having a conversation with you, right? But I watch the Real
Yeah,
Talks and I go, this is a guy that I'm going to appreciate his opinion regardless of what he has to say. But you're right about
yeah,
that
yeah,
authenticity. I think that's what people are really connecting with what you're doing.
right.
Is I can tell you're just saying it how it is, and you're saying what you actually feel about what's going on. I mean, I'll confess, you're one on Tiger this morning, and
Yeah,
everybody calling, going immediately to he must be high over the weekend.
right,
I
right.
think I was one of those people. You called me out, man. That you were
It's
spot
just
on.
like, and I'm not saying that he was or he wasn't, right? Like I just try to look at it from like all angles. Like I just like to, circle something before I, try to formulate an opinion. But I don't understand how, we don't look at everybody's in a rush to have like these hardened opinions on things, right? And I think that like that's kind of the way the media conditioned us. And so like all that I try to do when I put content out there is like unpack it and like let's look at it from a different angle. Like let me just throw some other alternatives out there. Like none of this shit might make sense, but it's like at least it'll like put another question in front of you that should make you question your previous beliefs, right? There's all types of explanations for why Tiger looked a certain way or like, why something XYZ could have happened. It could have been like the fucking squirrels from the Progressive commercials in the middle of the road, like that. You know what I mean? Like we don't know, like we really just don't know what happened, man. So like I just find it a little bit insensitive, especially around somebody that did so much for the game, bro. You know what I mean? To rush and try to dethrone them every single infraction. You know what I mean? And that's like something that I don't know where golf is going to take me and the opportunities that it's going to present me, but like I want to present myself as a human. Like I'm not no guy. Like I got fucked up opinions and fucked up family members and friends and like you know what I mean, all this other stuff. Like I make mistakes, I drink, whatever, I smoke, I do all types of crazy stuff. So like I think that like to not give somebody the opportunity to be human and to not empathize with them on those levels, it's kind of like, bro, who are you to like judge this man? He's done more than you could do a 7 lifetimes. But you're gonna take, you're gonna make this knee-jerk opinion about like all of these complexities that he's going on. I got 20,000 followers on Instagram and can't keep up with a day-to-day. Like, what must he be going through as the greatest golfer of all time? You know what I mean? Like the things that he must be navigating. And like it's just a lot of insensitivity, bro. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's that arc of the hero too, right? I mean, we were all
Yeah,
those of us that grew
yeah.
up with Tiger shaping our golf lives, which I was 100%. I wrote a little blog yesterday about the first time I saw Tiger in person and how it was just
Mm-hmm.
like life changing. Golf was never
Right.
the same to me after that. I think we were all just so that 2019 victory, man. It's just we ride and died with him because we had been through it or watched it, and
Right.
he was it almost to me, and my wife said it when we were sitting on the couch. It's like, dude, the man is happy. And I stopped looking at Tiger kind of as the athlete, more the human, like you're saying. He's a person with
Right.
feelings and family and all the
Right.
same stuff.
Right, man. Right. And it's just I empathize with athletes. Like I spend time with, like my boy that played for the Yankees and like, just getting just to meet different ones and talk to them. And it's like, it's different. Like a lot of people think that it's a privilege to like grow up your whole life and just be great at something and to always have the world kind of pivoting and revolving around you. Damn, I should have held the cough. I promise I'm all right, y'all. I promise I'm all right. But
You have been
but
traveling.
relax, dog.
You're good. You're
Relax.
good. You're good.
Digitally distanced. But no, like you think that it's such a privilege to grow up like that, but it deprives you of so many things and experiences that I don't think enough people empathize with. Oh, he's got everything. Like why, man, he's an asshole. He won't respond to this. Or he won't give my son a pair. He won't autograph it. He won't show up to this. And it's like, bro, like these people are like deprived of normalcy. Like like the things that you take for granted. Like when you get so frustrated and it's like, yo, I just want to go to my favorite restaurant, chill out, eat, whatever. Like they can't do none of that shit. There's no escape. People waiting for him with camera, people walking up to him and infringing on their day-to-day. It's like they lose so much access. And if they rub one person the wrong way, how does that person try to like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's so many things to navigate when you have higher levels of success. I'm like, man, dude, like y'all, we all need more empathy, and like kudos to Tiger for like trying to navigate ways to be more human and be more accessible. And looks like he's trying to like tap into his emotions more, like spend more time and be open about his relationship with his son and stuff. And I'm like, bro, these are major strides from somebody who was so private. You know what I mean? And it's like,
I do know what you
y'all
mean,
fucking
because
it up. HBO out there trying to fuck it up, make him go back into a hole.
I haven't watched that yet. I don't feel like I need to, because I basically have followed everything about Tiger since I was 12. But
Right.
you're not a fan.
Not a fan, dog. Not a fan. It was just like, you watching Fast and Furious, and then it's like somebody hit they Nas boost too early. You know what I mean? And it's just like, that's what HBO did. Like y'all would have just waited, dog. Y'all could have probably put together a very compelling, comprehensive piece of content. And
Because the journey's not over, is what you're saying, right?
It's so far from over, man. It's like far from over. Like the impact of this dude, dog, is like, you have no idea what he's capable of if he just wakes up one morning and makes a decision to do something different. Like he could literally wake up one morning, do a 180, still has a captive audience, resources, a network, youth and vigor to like go do whatever the fuck you want. He could call LeBron, he could call Obama, he could call Chris Paul, Steph Curry, he could call whoever the hell he wanted and make whatever the hell happen. And you gonna try to tell his story like that, like, you know what I mean?
That's a good
just
point.
Like so short-sighted, bro.
I think I that's what I found most uplifting about your message for Tiger, and your most recent Real Talk, is that he, yes, it's a bad injury, and yes, it's gonna be a tough comeback, but this ain't the end. There's so much more. Everyone's acting like it's nail in the coffin. It's not.
Right. And
That made me feel good. That made me feel better.
And bro, like I was saying, it's his right leg, dog. Like your right leg is like, you just post up on that shit and get off of it. Like it's not, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not. Now, if it was a left leg injury, I would be a little bit more concerned. You know what I mean? But I still, if Tiger want to figure out how to play golf on that leg, I still feel like he could go win at Augusta if he wanted to. You know what I mean? Like, I think he's fine. And now it's almost like Tiger got a reason to like play in less events, like gear up for important events, and just like focus on other things that he wants to accomplish, like in and around the game. You know what I mean? Mentorship, his son, philanthropy, stuff like that. I'm not gonna speculate on it too much, but I just think that the world is still wide open for the impact that Tiger will.
Are there any other Real Talk topics you got coming up that you want to workshop out a little bit with me here?
Bro, it's just I wake up some mornings and just be feeling shit. Or like I'll be having a conversation with somebody in my DMs, like somebody that I haven't met before, but we Instagram homies now. And it's like, man, that's a good subject, need to be addressed. You know what I mean? Like I do want to talk about like talking shit. You know what I mean? I think that it's underestimated. Like the impacts of it, and I don't think that people understand it fully, especially in golf, and they try to like shy away from it or they misuse it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like different types of etiquette that I want to tap into, like twirling. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of the twirl, but some etiquette that go into that. It's not just, you know what I mean? You can't just be spinning that shit for no reason. Like why are we doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like understand and leverage the impact of the twirl. Like there's all types of ways to get very introspective on things that we look at as on a surface level and don't really unpack. But yeah,
what's an improper use of talking shit?
Like because you trash and you just trying to bring everybody down with you. You know what I mean? Like you literally like the dude that get off the bench to go waste fouls. And it's like, bro, you have like you have no merit. Like shut your ass up. You know what I mean? You're just getting in the way. And it's like it's literally like the little kid on the playground that's trying to make a statement and fight the bully. Like, bro, like just stop. It's not even worth it. So then, you know, I would tell you just don't engage with people that's trying to egg you in, like suck you into those types of situations.
I'm such a huge advocate for competition. Like
Right.
I think we kind of as golfers try to avoid, you know, oh, it's just camaraderie and we're out there to have a good time. That is true, but you can still do it while competing. It's a game. You know, we all
Yeah.
want to win. It's human nature.
Hell
But there,
yeah.
I see where you're going with this because it's a problem. There's people that don't know how to talk trash on the golf course, and then there's
Yeah.
people that take it too personally, obviously, and they got their
Yeah.
own
You can't
issues.
be sensitive either, dog. Like,
No.
you know what I mean? If somebody making a comment to you is gonna, like, you know, send you on a double bogey train and you're gonna try to throw your clubs and fight somebody, it's like, bro, I'm sure that's manifesting itself in other ways in your life that you need to unpack. We just scratching the surface on this. You know what I
All
mean?
right,
Like
I look
a
forward to hearing your full rendition on that.
yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about influencer status. This is something I've thought about. You know, we have a presence out there on the gram and others. Um, you're a big time social media influencer now. You're a creator. You're a social entrepreneur. But what do you think of that title? What do you think of the title?
Influencer.
Yeah,
Bro, you can't claim to be no damn influencer, dog. Like, bro, you can't claim to be no influencer. Like, bro, like influencer is like a state of being. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, the way that it's intended, like, you know, before all of this social media shit, when, you know, you had to actually earn press, right? Like when you had to earn the right to be on the news and earn the right to be in the newspaper, like you had to go do shit. Like you had to go accomplish shit. Like, yo, he just had an 8-figure exit from a business. Like, this dude is smart as shit. What else can he tell us? He's gonna influence my decisions. You know what I mean? Or this person was just, you know, featured in Vogue magazine or whatever, a top designer. They just did some, like, you know what I mean? Whatever. This dude won a Tour de France. Like, this dude did this. Like, these people are influencing my decision. Where the fuck did we cut out the accomplishment part and then just go straight to like influence? You know what I'm saying?
I do know
And
what
it's
you're
like,
saying.
bro, so I think that it's hilarious, dog. Like, I think that it's hilarious. And so, like, you know, I'm like, yeah, bro, like we all influencers, right? We all influence somebody. You know, everybody just we can all just put that in our bios at this point. Because if all the people that claim it can have it, bro, anybody can have it. You know what I mean? Shit, I influence my cat. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I influence my little cousin. You know, like whatever the hell, you know. So I think that it's funny to me. I think that it is very funny to me. But I do appreciate everything that's coming along with it, and I do take serious the opportunities of true influencers, like true influencers, and like that. But I think that the people that are truly influential, like they don't claim that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's
And
just, you know,
and they're
yeah.
doing other stuff. So are you saying, like, in what ways are you not? Because I think everybody that will, you know, go to your Instagram account, they're going to say, okay, social media influencer.
Right.
In what ways are you not a social media influencer of the things you're doing for golf?
I think that I am being influential. You know what I mean? And like if I was, you know, because I'm really trying to like push forth a narrative, right, of that you can show up to the game as you are, and as long as you respect the game, it's for you. And I don't think that golf has like embraced anybody quite like me before. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a lot of like I talk to a dude named Kelly James a lot. Like he do all the stuff at the PGA tours, like he do like the rap stuff and all this stuff. But Kelly James is a smart dude though. You know what I mean? Like he's just a very like intellectual, like cerebral, great storyteller and stuff like that. And he was like, bro, golf is like the gatekeepers are trying to keep golf like very, very safe. And you know, they're not gonna really let anything into the game that threatens the safety of the game, right? And for those reasons, you haven't seen too many people at a high level that really represent what diversifying the game could look like. You know what I mean? And I think that I'm I'm potentially the edgiest but safest approach to that at the time being, right? Like I'm a decent golfer, like, you know, I'm educated, you know what I mean? But I'm from this place that a lot of people wouldn't want to go. You know what I mean? I live in this place that a lot of people wouldn't want to visit. And I think that it's like an interesting enough case study where it's like, okay, you know, we'll allow you access to the game because we think that you're going to be a good advocate for like growth in this capacity. And that's what I want to articulate as well, is like like the video, my first video that kind of went like mini viral or whatever, when I was telling people like to play golf responsibly, it's like, I want you to come play the game, but I also want you to respect the game. It's like, I don't want you fucking this up for me. You know what I mean? Because I put a lot of time in and met a lot of people and shook a lot of hands to get these opportunities. So like, if you're gonna come into it, this is a great opportunity. It's a lot of things that you could do with this game, but like, don't mess it up though. You know what I mean? Don't be out here being disrespectful. You know what I mean? So in those ways, I think that I am like influential, but I'm gonna be the first to tell you, like, dog, I haven't done shit. Started a couple businesses, like, you know what I mean? Struggling, trying to navigate through those, and like, bro, what, you know, maybe, you know, being a scratch golfer, maybe, I don't know, bro.
It doesn't hurt.
I struggle with it, though. I struggle with it.
Scratch golf, it doesn't hurt. And that message, Roger, that's something that I believe viscerally deep down. And it's something that's built into what we're doing at NewClub too, is that you gotta let people know that, yeah, you're invited to be a part of this, and it's actionable, right? Show up, play, enjoy it. But that's help those new people understand the game, the little nuances, just like anything, right? If you're learning to fly a plane, you're not going to know all the language either, right? There's jargon, there's etiquette, there's ways that you got to do stuff. That's what I see. I see you bringing people into that, man, and doing it authentically and not pandering to folks.
Right. And that's something that I like definitely want to commit to, because, you know, getting to this to this space has been interesting, because like for a long time when I was getting into golf, I thought that I had to like pander to people to get opportunities. You know what I mean? And you know, like, you were just always trying to like figure out, how could I fit in? Like, how can I fit in? You know, how can I like not lose this opportunity to go to this place and see this thing? And it was like, it was sad a lot of times, bro. You know what I mean? Like the elements of yourself that you would try to like compromise or quiet just so you could like not lose this opportunity. And just to like sometimes go home and be like, yo, I didn't even fit in there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I just think that the way that I'm doing it is like, whatever I can get from being myself, like, that's what's for me. If that means that I can only play the 9-hole course that's down the street from me, and that's the only place that would truly have me and truly make a home for me, then that's my home. And that's where we can all go. You know what I mean? But if other places are saying like, we want you to come here, then it's like, well, let's show me. And then and now this can be our home. You know what I mean? And I'll help you enforce the rules. You know what I mean? Like, whatever rules we set, whatever rules we all agree on, like, I'll be the first one to help you enforce them. But I just don't want golf to feel like, I don't want anybody that's coming into the game feeling like you got to switch up anything about yourself to play the game. You could be 100% yourself, but just like, let's be within the confines of like what the game should look like. And this could be a great place for all of us. You know what I mean?
That's a beautiful message and a beautiful mission. And I want to help you with it. Let's talk locally. Can we talk about Chicago a little bit?
Yeah.
I'm calling in from my north side apartment. I think do you still live on the west side?
Yeah, I'm on the west side. Right.
Okay. So what were some of your favorite courses growing up?
I mean, growing up, I didn't really like when I was growing up, I just played like, it's a 9-hole course over here called Columbus Park. It's like on the west side. I would go out to Jackson Park. I would go out to South Shore. I would go out to like Maryville, or they used to call it Waveland. So it was just all the city courses, or you know, sometimes my dad would take me out to Fresh Meadows. So like growing up, like I didn't see a lot of like beauty, like, you know what I mean? I didn't know how beautiful golf got. You know what I'm saying? Like as a kid, because you were just always like at those courses. And then when I got to high school and I played on a high school golf team, and I started to see more stuff. Like I went out and played Butterfield Country Club, and they took us to like LaGrange Country Club, and they took us to like one of my boys had a house down in Ponte Vedra, and I went and saw Sawgrass for the first time. And that was just also like jarring to me, like, yo, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like courses that had real trouble that you could get into. You know what I mean? It was like crazy. But you know, now as an adult though, I mean, I just grown this huge appreciation for like what we have to offer from a golf perspective. Even though we only give people 45 minutes every year to play it. So you know what I mean? It's, you know, it's all good. But we got some beautiful golf here.
I want to ask you about those country clubs, right? Because we have a lot of people that listen to the pod that are representatives of those country clubs, and a lot of our members are members at those country clubs. And you know, I think the places like Columbus Park, Jackson Park, City Maravitz, obviously crucial for the game of golf, right? You got to get people introduced to the game. You got to, but as you know, this game has layers, and as your game progresses, you kind of just want to see a new place, a new challenge, a new, you know, beauty, as you said. And what do you think those places could do? Because here I'll give you my quick position, right? They're private clubs. They're allowed to be the private clubs. That's how they were established hundreds of years ago. That's great. You know, have your club. But what are some things you think they could do to make that, you know, as someone that's an avid, talented golfer, you know, make them feel just more a part of it, more welcome, you know, even though maybe they join the club, maybe they don't, but what is some advice or tips you have for those places? Because where I sit, I know that it's a problem. I know that like those places are definitely for our age group and below. It's become a challenge. They don't feel that way. So what are some things you think they could improve?
You know, this is a question that I want to give a more thoughtful response to, man, because I think that you know, I'm a big proponent of like, bro, if I'm not welcome somewhere, like I don't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like if you really don't want me there, don't invite me. You know what I'm saying? Or like I don't want you to open it up to me so I could feel uncomfortable. So I don't want to go there either. You know what I mean? So I just think that like foundationally, you know, I would really have to give that some more thought as far as like how you could organically make it feel welcome. Because one thing that I don't want to happen is for like, you know, clubs and courses to like rush into trying to give all of this access and then like having a bad experience because it's forced, and then like having that completely, you know, dismantle everything. I think that we have to be like tactful about how we like start to, you know, be progressive in those spaces. But I just think that one of the things is just dialogue and being open to new opportunities and stuff like that. Like, like I've talked to, you know, people that were members at like Medina and Olympia Fields and stuff like that. And it's like they're very open to, you know, having what new membership could look like. But at the same time, it's like this is a club that was founded, you know, with some ideals in mind. And like the people that come here, they still have to represent that. Like the whole club probably not gonna pivot to accommodate, you know, like a bunch of random people that, you know what I mean? Like, let us up in here, you know what I mean? So like, I think that, you know, you have to be thoughtful about the ways that you introduce that. And at a minimum, a club just has to be open to the dialogue and open to the change as far as like what, you know, progresses that membership forward. And there's probably a lot of low-hanging opportunities like right in front of them, right? Like, you know, a lot of them, you know, they work at law firms and they're, you know, doctors, and, you know, they have practices where they're engaging with these people and these patients. And you know what I mean? It's like, hey man, like come out and have a round with me. Like, let me know what you think of the club. And it could be like all that simple. Like, you know, maybe it's like some sort of incentive where like, you know, you could bring a member from a different community or something out for a day, or like we have something where it's like, yo, if you know, if you think y'all will have a good time, bring them out here for like a discounted green fee or something like that. You know what I mean? On your end, if you bring them as a guest. And it's like, yo, just show people around, see how they feel about it. And why don't you, and even in doing that, it's like, bro, be honest with me, like how you felt about the club here. And then, you know, people like, yo, this made me uncomfortable as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And so like be open to having those types of conversations. And I think that like organically you could start to navigate how you could shift, you know. But I'm in no position to tell a club how they need to change their membership. Them people pay a lot of money to like be out there, you know what I mean? Them people like they did a lot of stuff to build that, you know what I mean, and turn it and give it the prestige and all of that stuff. And I know that, you know, rushing and doing anything, I understand the harm in that. So I would never like advocate for that, you know. But I do think that there's ways to be more progressive as far as like having dialogue and giving access and asking questions, like asking real questions and looking for real responses that will give you some insights and kind of help you tailor that approach, you know, for the new era of golf.
I hear you. I hear you. You've said elsewhere, and this is something that I say a lot, and my buddies give me a hard time for, but you've said elsewhere that you believe that the game can help people navigate life. And my friends are always giving me a hard time. Like if we're talking about, you know, now we got kids and we're all married and we're talking about like real life stuff with, you know, my buddies. I'm always comparing it to golf and they always roll their eyes. But I saw you said that, and I wanted to ask you, you know, what kind of lessons you think golf can teach people in life, and you know, maybe some examples from your own life.
Bro, let me look up these accounts real quick. I just want to speak to something very specific. Yeah, so look, so with golf, like the reality of it is every decision maker, like probably I would say, man, I will argue 95% of decision makers have like this deep affinity for the game of golf. Like 95% of like decision makers across every industry got this deep affinity to golf, right? And so like, and when you understand golf like we do, you understand that like golf is like its own fucking language. You know what I'm saying? When you could talk about golf to somebody, y'all got shared experiences. Like, yo, y'all in another world. It's like, what is everybody? I'm at a basketball game talking about golf, and then it's like, yo, like, what the fuck basketball? Why are we here? Like, we should go. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy the power of the game when you love it like that, right? And so when you understand that power, you start to understand how having that connection with different people can really shrink gaps. You know what I mean? Generational gaps, you know, racial gaps, socioeconomic gaps. And it's like, man, if you don't explore that, you passing up on opportunities to like impact their social mobility. And I'm not saying use golf as a tool to like, you know, take advantage of situations and stuff like that, but organically, that is what's gonna happen. Like, it's just organically gonna happen. You're gonna go play golf, you're gonna go play with some random people, you're gonna tell them about what you do, they're gonna tell you about what they do, and over the course of 18 holes, somebody gonna be like, you know what I was thinking? I got this buddy that does something that I'm gonna connect y'all to, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And it's like, and then we'll set up another game. Maybe all three of us will go play. Hell yeah. And you know what I mean? And then that turns into like this whole new pathway that otherwise you never would have created. And like the foundation of it is so deep, so fast. It's like, bro, like golf offers you opportunities to connect with different people on levels that are unimaginable and unattainable by other sports. And for instance, to show you the importance of golf. So I got these dudes I talk to that I've been speaking with more frequently down in Atlanta, right? They train NFL prospected quarterbacks, top quarterbacks in the country pre-draft. They come down, they go down to Atlanta, Quincy Avery and Alan Chaney, I think his last name is. So they go down there, they work out with them, but as a part of that curriculum, bro, as a part of that experience, they teach them dudes how to play golf. It's like, it's mandatory that you learn how to play golf. They're like, man, why should the quarterback, what do they need to learn how to play golf for? And it's like, bro, everybody, and the way it was explained to me, everybody in those front offices, everybody on, you know, likely your coach, your offensive coordinator, all of these decision makers within those organizations are going to speak this language. And when you understand that like life is all relationships, it's like, bro, why would I pass up on an opportunity to cultivate this specific relationship? It's like, why would a football player need to learn how to play golf? Because you making them bilingual, dog. Like, it's crazy. You know, you almost, it's like literally teaching somebody a different language. And then just for my own experience, bro, I knew nobody in LA. I knew zero people in LA. Had only been there maybe for like 2 days randomly. You know what I mean? Before. moved to LA with some golf clubs at like a couple $1,000, like, or like, you know what I mean, back in 2015, 16, and through playing golf alone, just started like meeting business partners, meeting like, you know, CEOs of companies that like, you know what I mean, that are really invested and stuff. It's just, bro, no other game is going, you can't get that hooping.
And it's
You know what I
not,
mean?
that's true. Because it's not just meeting them either. You get to know somebody when you play golf with them.
It's known, dog. All these soft touch points, man. Like I get to see how you handle adversity. You know what I mean? I get to see how you ride high. I get to see how you ride low. You know what I mean? I get to see how you get hyper focused when we compete. You know, I get to see if you cheat. You know, I get to see if you give yourself, you know, like 6-foot gimmies. You know what I mean? I get to see, you know what I mean, how you process like information. I get to, you know, learn about how you dress. And then, and that's all outside of just the conversation that y'all having on the golf course. A whole bunch of soft touch points and soft learning points. It's like, bro, you could get a person broke down in just like those 4 hours on the golf course. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you like talking much on the golf course? Obviously, you're very eloquent, and you said that better than I ever could. But do you like conversation on the golf course?
Yeah, but it just depends on why we there though. Like we gambling or we, you know what I mean? Like, cause I've played and it's just money games, and it's like, bro, like leave me the fuck alone. You know what I mean? Like if I'm playing in a tournament, like we don't really need to chat it up like that. You know what I mean? But if we out there to network, you know, like I know how to like switch it on and off depending on what's going on.
I had a member, I write on this blog, and I wrote about one of the members that I played with it wasn't a money game, but it was a match, you know, points were on the line. We wanted to win, and we didn't talk. I wrote about him, right? Like about him I got to know him. He's like, dude, I didn't think you liked me. You didn't really talk to me much that day. I go, of course we didn't talk. I was trying to kick your ass, but I picked up on all the things that you do throughout the day. I got to know you. I mean, golf is really unique in that way.
Right, right. And so that's why I think it's like, you know, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, man, I'm really trying to like maximize my, I'm really trying to make my, you know, performance here. And if we're competing, and it's like, dude, like, I don't need your dialogue, dog. Like, you know what I mean? I really, you know, I'm thinking about things, and, you know, and even when I'm taking a break from thinking about the shot, like I'm not thinking all golf the whole 4 hours, but like when I'm not thinking about golf, I want to think about the things I want to think about. And like, you know, I'm kind of like, if you talking to me, like you giving me your energy, you start coming over to me complaining about your wife, your job, whatever the fuck, like you like, I don't want to have no empathy or sympathy for you while I'm out here on this golf course, dog. You know what I mean? Oh man, you know, like I don't need none of that. So it's just, if we really competing, then it's like, yo, chill. But if it's like we friends and we out there betting, you know, we can talk shit. It's just all types of different levels to it. But I think that I'm good at like understanding what the goal is, and then, you know, tailoring my approach to what we out there doing.
So you and I share something else that is somewhat in common that I wanted to ask you about, and it's that decision that I toiled over for a couple years, leaving my desk job to work in golf.
Right.
So I wanted to ask you about, you know, you started a few ventures at this point, and now I think you're full time in the game. What led you to that decision, and how did it come to be?
Man, you know, my whole thing was like, I graduated college and had no idea like what I wanted to do with my life. You know, I feel like that's probably the overarching sentiment with everybody. And you know, I majored in civil engineering, so I did that for like 4.5 years, and I worked on the public side and the private side. And I'm like, yo, this shit is boring, dog. You know what I mean? But golf as an adult was the first thing that really like pulled me. And it wasn't something that I had to try to love. It was just like, for a long time, I was just waking up thinking about golf, going to sleep, you know, getting off work, going to the driving range, playing on the weekends. Like golf was like, I'm like, bro, this is it. And I'm like, I'm over here trying to figure out how I could, you know, like, you know, use my job to play more golf. And then at a certain point, you start realizing like, yo, the job is really what's getting in the way. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I don't need to work around this thing. This is like 8 to 10 hours of my day. Like, man, why do I, during prime time golf hours, like, why am I giving so much leeway to this? And so I think that the way that I did it, though, I was very naive, though. You know what I mean? And I was very, like, I dove head first and I didn't have enough knowledge on what I was really getting myself into. But I also reconciled that it wasn't a lot of people that was doing anything that could have helped me either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have still been waiting if I was waiting on people to like transition out of it. People like, man, don't leave until you could turn a side hustle into a main hustle. And I'm like, bro, like when you treat your side girl like your side girl, she gonna stay your side girl. And you just gonna be in that, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just the way it's gonna be. Like, you can't, expect something to love you if you don't love and commit to it. You know what I mean? So I jumped out. I had some money saved, and I tried to start a couple businesses, and I like blew through like a decent amount of money I had saved up very fast, and it was very alarming. You know what I mean? And I was in this like not so good relationship at the time, and that's the whole reason that I even moved to LA. She was like, "Yo, come out to LA." And no offense to her, it's she ain't all that. It was just our dynamic. You know what I'm saying? But I think that looking at where I am now, and I don't have that much security in what I do. You know what I mean? I'm like a couple bad months away from like filling out a job application most times. You know what I mean? But I think that I know that there's no job that I could have that would give me this fulfillment. And I think that those sensations alone is kind of worth the jump. And that's not just for golf. That's for like anything, dog. Like when you like at the end of the day, like we all gonna die with nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like the people that are trying to like put life on the back burner so that they can accumulate wealth and try to like lower themselves into this place of comfortability where they could finally try and get their dreams off the ground. Like, man, I had homies that had very tragic incidents in their 20s. Like one of my best friends died when he was 28, and all we would do was talk about plans and stuff that he was gonna do when he got to this place. And I'm like, for all of this uncertainty, bro, and for us, as far as we know, this is our only chance to do it. And you want to like, spend 10 hours a day at like this other thing when you know what you're passionate about. Like, bro, that's like, it's cowardly a little bit, dog. So when people talk to me about that, I'll be like pretty honest with them. Like, bro, you telling me that you love this thing and you want to make it work and you not willing to like gamble on yourself and your love to like chase it, like either you don't love it enough or like you kind of like you a punk, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And it's really no two ways. I don't mean to be harsh about that, but it's like you taking yourself way too serious and you're negating like what passion, like how passion manifests itself in the world. You know what I mean? So
And
I applaud you too, man. I would love to know how you did it, but I just jumped in first, dog, and it hurt, but it was like it's worth it.
yeah, it hurt. I wasn't really ready for it either, and still kind of feel a lot of those same feelings. But the best advice I got was another Chicagoan, Claire Liu, who started, I think she's on her third company or something, lives in the West Loop. And I'd see her at a couple events and I knew she was an entrepreneur, right? So I kept hitting her with questions. And finally, I think she got irritated with me, kind of like what you're saying. Like, hey, man, I've seen you at 3 or 4 of these functions, and every time you bring up the same golf idea. And she goes, you seem pretty passionate about it, right? And I go, yeah. She says, well, your inspiration has an expiration. So I recommend you do something about it before it's too late. And that was it for me, man. I remember going home that night and just taking that like boilerplate thought I had lined up and putting something to it. But I think right now too, everybody, you try to avoid uncertainty. A lot of people stay in their comfy roles and stay unhappy to avoid uncertainty. But I mean, look at COVID. That's uncertainty for everybody, right? We don't know what's going to happen next. So you might as well start living your life. I look to people like you who have made that jump, because I think we always need inspiration every day, because I'll have those bad days, man. I'll be honest, where it's just like, ooh, I should be selling technology right now. But there's a lot of really good days too, where
it could all be so easy. Yeah.
yeah.
But that's just like that's kind of like just the low hanging fruit, man. That's like the bait, back into like a trap, dog. Of like, there's just a lot of people out here doing stuff that they're not passionate about. You know what I mean? And it's of no fault of their own, because like if everybody just quit their job and did whatever the fuck they want to do, like what would get done?
The world would crumble for sure. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
So it's just like people are doing things that are necessary, but I do applaud the people that like when they say that they feel something, that they willing to jump out there and go for it and see where it lands you.
Well, and I will say, I think it is important for golf, because it's important for every industry to have innovation, but golf particularly has been that's the way we've always done it type of deal. And it's gonna suffer if people like yourself don't, jump in and say, all right, I'm gonna roll the dice and make this happen. So
right.
I don't want to keep it too much longer. I gotta ask you our 18 standard questions. I have adapted from a 35 questionnaire from Marcel Proust, who's a French novelist. He was trying to uncover the truest nature of an individual. What I'm trying to do with these 18 questions is uncover the soul of the golfer. Okay, Roger Steele. So I got 18 questions. These are intended to be quick answer, by the way. I don't want too much thought, just quick answer. We'll get through them. And by number 19, we're gonna get a peer into the soul of Roger Steele. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah.
Number 1, when were you the happiest as a golfer?
The happiest, I think like what are you looking for? Like a time frame or like an event?
Yeah. When and where?
Now. Like, I mean, I think that, like the stuff that I've been doing, like, like my banding trip, like being out at Bandon Dunes and like being tapped into, but that's tough too though, because it's like I don't know, dude. I'm a suck at this game. I'm a suck at this game, but like I felt like I think being out at Bandon made me very happy. But another moment when I was like really happy was when I presented that check at that event that I shot $1 million at to Willie and this dude Tim O'Neill, and it's like I'm like, bro, this is like I'm actually making some headway right now.
Dude, you're 1 under. That's a birdie. That's a great answer. Number 2, what's the scariest golf shot?
Scariest golf shot? Like a shot with OB right, left to right wind. Scares the shit out of me.
That's a scare.
Tee shot.
Yep.
OB right, strong left to right wind.
I share that concern. Number 3, what is your go-to order at the halfway house?
I'm not a big golf course food guy. Like I'll bring snacks most of the time, but I'm always getting like if they got any type of like Nutri-Grain bar, nuts or like stuff like that. A lot of times I get something like that. Unless we party, and then it's a transfusion for sure.
For sure. Number 4, what is the trait you most deplore in your golf game?
The trait that I most deplore is I think that it's like inconsistency of ball striking inconsistency. If we're looking like a physical trait,
I don't like part of your game.
I don't like the variance between my ball striking from day to day, and more importantly, like the inaccuracy off the tee too, like how that affects my inaccuracy off the tee.
Yeah. Number 5, what is the quality you most look for in a playing partner?
And this is like physical or like, emotional or whatever.
Who you prefer playing with? What is something you look for in that person?
And we in a money game?
No, you're just playing.
People that I'm playing with.
Yeah, you're just out to have a good time for this one.
No, man, just as long somebody that's like I like playing with people that are business oriented and like progressive minded. Like I like playing golf with like entrepreneurs, like good entrepreneurs. You
I
know?
like that. Number 6. What is the trait you most deplore in other people's golf games? So this one is actually about the physical golf game.
Yeah. Yeah, slow people that play like real slow. I think that that bothers. I'm not the quickest player, but I like try to make up for that by hitting the ball fewer times. You know what I mean? But like when you
Oh,
trash and slow, I'm like, ooh,
oh,
ooh.
I know what you mean. I know
Yeah,
what you mean. That's a red flag in NewClub. If you're
yeah.
taking your sweet ass time, we got to talk. Number 7. What words or phrases do you most overuse on the golf course?
Uh, Overused. Mm, man, I don't know. I feel like I got a good mix of golf vocabulary,
You
dog.
do. You have a very
Right?
wide array to choose from.
Yeah, man. What do I overuse on the golf course? I think that I've caught myself saying like some sort of profanity after a shot too soon, like complaining about it before I actually like it wasn't really that bad of a shot, but I just complained about it anyway. I feel like that's something that golf conditions were like, fuck, shit. You know what I mean? Like quick, without even really just expressing disapproval too soon. You know what I mean?
Yep. Number 8. What golfing talent would you most want to have?
Golfing talent,
Yeah. So back to your game. What part of the game would you most
bro,
want?
hitting fairways, dog. Oh man, if I could just live in the fairway, bro.
Drive it like your guy Kevin Hall. I've played with him. He
Yeah,
he doesn't miss fairways, at least that I've seen.
that's, yeah.
Number 9, making the turn. What is your most treasured golf possession? Is there something you hold on to from golf that means a lot to you?
Mm, no, man. I think that like all of my man, bro. Nah, I think that like I'm a very I don't have any like super emotional attachments to anything object wise in golf. You know what I mean? Like I
That's a
don't
good
have
way to
no.
live life, man. I gotta look at my freaking office. This is pathetic. I hold on to everything.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, I hold on to a lot of stuff, but it's just nothing is like, you know, it's like it's stuff though, you know.
well, how about this question then? Number 10. What's the one thing in your golf bag that you should throw out?
Um, bro, I like my 50-degree wedge, dog. I think that thing cursed. I don't know what it is, bro, but if you give me a shot that's like 140, 140 to 145 or 135 to 145, I'm like, I'm going through some things right now. I don't know what happened to it. I don't know what I did to it, but yeah,
Yeah,
that 50, bro.
if it's in your head already, you got it. It needs to be thrown out. Just or for
It's
maybe
like,
put it on the bench. Put it on the bench for a little while.
yeah, it's like, why am I like nervous with a wedge in my hand? This is crazy.
This one's a little different. Number 11. What's your favorite occupation at the golf course? So this could either be like a job that you would like to have at a golf course, or a specific person that you know from working that works at a club.
Bro, I like the maintenance people, bro. Like I like their hours because they like it's like they there before you get there, and then they maybe do some stuff when you leave. But I feel like if I, and it's just they're responsible for the experience that we have, right? It's like they control so much, how well they keep it, how fast the greens roll, you know what I mean? Like replacing divots and things like that. And, they control so much. I think that they so essential to the experience. And I don't think that we put enough shine on them. So like another respect for like all of the maintenance people that get out there and like keep the courses beautiful.
Number 12. Have you ever asked another golfer for their autograph?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like yeah, definitely. If that's a yes or no question, like hell yeah. I'm
So
damn near
follow.
about to get Willie Mack on the graph. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just say this real quick.
So question, was it Willie?
Not yet. I'm gonna get his though. That you just reminded me.
You should, yeah. Number 13, what historical golf figure do you most relate to?
Historical golf figure, probably like Lee Trevino. And I just felt like, you know what I mean? Like I'm just like a more vulgar version from a personality perspective, like unconventional swing, but like charismatic and stuff like that. I like the way he just, don't really come from a whole lot. So I think that like Lee Trevino, somebody that I identify with.
I'm a huge Lee Trevino fan. I'm gonna send you a picture of Lee Trevino when this is over. It is one of the most iconic shots that it hangs in the club I grew up with in Akron, Ohio, when he was passing through town. He looks like something out of Sopranos, though. This picture's hilarious. His attire, man, is something else. Number 14, do you have any golf regret? Any greatest regret in golf?
Yeah, man, like, and it was kind of out of my control, but I wish that um first of all I grew up closer to a driving range. I think that would have like really helped me get more reps and understand what was going on. And I just wish that I had like closer friends that played golf when I was growing up. I was at like this age where like there was a few other junior golfers, but they were older than me. And I felt like I wasn't really like accepted by them, and they weren't people that I connected with very well, to the point where I was excited to go see them or anything. And so I think that if I could have spent more time on the driving range and been around people my age that I really like connected with, my trajectory in golf might have looked different when I was younger, or I might have had a deeper appreciation for the game. But neither, I don't feel like either. I feel like both of those are out of my control. But I just wish that was the case.
I think that's something, though, a lot of us can relate to, that wanted to have golf younger. Now we're all into the game, on the deep level, just doing it earlier and having a crew to do it with. Numbers 15 and 16. So 15 is, what's your favorite hole in golf? And then 16 is, what is your least favorite hole in golf?
So this is just like stuff we see on TV?
Either TV or holes you've played, specific holes, type of holes, whatever you want.
My favorite hole in golf. That's loaded. I'm like pulling from all these different experiences, trying to narrow one. My favorite hole in golf.
I think it's probably the hardest question on here, so they get easier after this.
Okay. Yeah, this is tough, dog. But then I'm trying to remember like what's my favorite course in golf. You know what I mean? And then that take me up to Bandon. But then it's like Bandon was just like more of an experience. It's not like I could pull something specific from that, bro.
What about locally? Let me narrow your focus. How about Chicago specifically? What is your least favorite hole in Chicago?
Okay, all right, cool. All right, so in Chicago, so my favorite hole in Chicago is the 15th hole at Jackson Park. Like that's like it's a par 5. It's like, for some reason I feel like it always play downwind, and if you hit the fairway, it's like the easiest eagle you gonna ever. It's your easiest look at eagle you ever gonna get in your life.
I know which hole you're talking about. I know which hole you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah. And my least favorite hole is number 2 at South Shore. So South Shore, like it's like this 460-yard par 4 that you got to hit like a snap hook to, like, you know what I mean, to like find the fairway. And I'm like, yo, what the hell? It's like that's like, and it's the smallest, narrowest green I've ever seen. I can't. I mean, bro, I feel like my scoring average on that hole is a par 4 like 6.5 or something like that. Like nothing ever go right on that hole.
Yeah, that hole sucks. They got to do something there. Yeah. That's for sure. Sidebar, what do you think of the project? So Tiger you know, and making it happen? I mean, I know there's a lot of Chicago politics to it, but are you pro making it happen down there?
Yeah, I think I'm very pro like having a championship golf course in Chicago, but like, you know, like my dad and his friends and stuff, like that's where they like play, you know what I mean? And if, you know, access and price point starts to push people out of the game, you know, you start bringing all this tourism in, and it's like, man, I could easily see that turning into something where like the people that were really relying on those courses don't have any like refuge or like any place to go to stay in the game. You
Yeah,
know, you're
it's
talking about taking two courses first of all that had two separate kind of communities, combining it into one, bumping up the price point, making it like a destination, and it's like, bro, no way you could keep that affordable for people. And even
yeah.
if you did try to extend that to some of the people that were like, you know, in the area now, it's like, you know, it's just like a way that you should start phasing that out. You know what I mean? Driving the price points up and up. It's, you know, so it's kind of like a bittersweet sentiment as far as like how all of that stuff is transpiring. Like, you know, it's coming, but you
I
hope that they try to do the right thing.
it's tricky, right? Yeah, they got to do
Yeah,
it the right way. I don't envy
yeah,
the people that are, you know, leading that charge, because it's tricky to do. But I hope they do it. It'd be awesome for
yeah.
Chicago.
It would be awesome. It would be.
All right, two final questions. Number 17. Well, first, yes or no? Do you listen to music on the golf course?
Yeah.
All right, you got one song to listen to on the golf course for the rest of your life.
Oh my God,
What
bro.
song is it?
What? What a crazy question, dog. What number question is this?
At 17, you're almost there.
Damn. One song to listen to for my whole life on the golf course. It's gonna be a Drake song. Bro, this is a crazy question. It's not even realistic. Bro, this is torture right now, dog.
You act like I put my whole life into this question. No, man. I don't know. It's a
Man,
song. And
wow.
by the way, I can't enforce it. I'm not going to make you listen to one song for the rest of your life. You can say
I
it.
know, but it's just like, bro, you try to like, as much as I love music, you gonna make me pick one song, and it's supposed to be this timeless, all-encompassing song.
Well, it is hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. That's a
It's
tough.
a Drake song, and it's probably gonna be bro, I need something that I could just like maybe I'll pick Laugh Now, Cry Later as a song. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I feel like that's a pretty like all-encompassing song, catch you high and low.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
I feel like that's a terrible answer.
We'll see what people say. We'll have others critique it.
Man,
Last question, number 18. If you had a motto, maybe you do. If you had a motto, what would it be?
if I had a motto, yeah, I'll just say like it's okay to be trash, just don't stay trash, dog. You know what I mean? I think that like that's the way I live my life. Like, you know, that live my life is you gonna realize the more things you try to do, the less you know. But it's just up to you to if you want to stay not knowing things, like probably not somebody that people should associate with, you know. So
I love it. That's a good one to end us on. One thing I forgot to mention or ask you about is some of your other guys. We talked a lot about Willie,
yeah,
but you know, there's some other hype players that are doing good things. And there's been a bunch of sponsors exemptions lately too. So Kevin Hall, who I played some college golf with,
yeah,
great
right,
dude. Love seeing him back out there. Kamayu Johnson, you know, he got
right.
a ton of publicity this last couple weeks, which has been cool to see. Tim O'Neill.
Yeah,
My question was, do you think? Well, first, do you think there's real sustainable change happening in representation through this? Do you think this is something that's going to continue, or do we still have a ways to go?
I think that it so the problem is, you know, like if they keep doing it this way where they throwing out exemptions and you know, it's like the only way you could have results is if somebody performs, right? And like over delivers. And then it's like, oh, they deserve it. But like the problem is like we all know what kind of game golf is, and sometimes like you're not really in control of like how you play, how you perform, circumstances, and me understanding the complexity of the game. Like it's all types of like knowledge and stuff that you need to be competitive at those higher stages that a lot of people don't have access to, or like enough experience and reps within. So I'm appreciative of the effort that golf is putting forth, but I worry that if they don't live up to the hype, that they gonna snatch all of this stuff back, and it's we're gonna be back with nothing. And so what I'm asking for is like just kind of sustainability of the approach and continued support of the organizations. Like I think that the PGA and the PGA Tour and the APGA Tour, the Advocates Tour, like that partnership just needs to get stronger and stronger. And then they need to be creating sustainable opportunities through that partnership, not necessarily putting it on the backs of the players to say like, oh, it's your responsibility to make sure that this doesn't, go to shit. It's like, man, like give this organization that's been really like in a dogfight for the last 9 years to like create these opportunities and get to this space. Give them the space to like continually groom and like and promote players. You know what I mean? And that's why I think the focus needs to be. So if that partnership could stay strong, I think that is sustainable. That is very sustainable. But as far as all of the players that are getting opportunities, I definitely think that what Willie has a chance to do right now is like something that I'm super excited about. And I think that if he keeps getting reps, it's only a matter of time, like literally just a matter of time, because I think he's ready. And for everybody else that's out there getting these looks, it's like I'm super appreciative of that, but I don't want them navigating these opportunities like I gotta do this, that, and the other. Like, nah, man, just play your game. Like this partnership is here, and I think that there's all this comfort that's in that too, right? Like I'm not ruining it for the next generation if I don't play my best this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like these opportunities are gonna be here. It's not all on my shoulders. I don't think anybody needs to carry that burden. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna stay in the dogfight, especially on the APGA side, just helping however I can to make sure that I'm shedding the best light on the tour and highlighting the players and the leadership and stuff like that. And I hope that they just keep maturing that relationship with the PGA Tour.
That'll be great to see. And are there any APGA guys that we don't know about yet that we should be keeping our eyes out for?
APGA?
Yeah. Or
like my boy Joe Hooks. Man, Joe Hooks, dog. Go follow my boy Joe.
What a golf name, by the way, Joe Hooks.
What a golf name, dog. What a golf name. And just like, bro, I swear, Joe, like I don't know exactly how old Joe is. He might be like 25 or something, but he like a 50-year-old in like demeanor though. He just like super serious and polished. You like, bro, you look like you hang out with my dad. You feel like you hang out with my dad or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, Joe Hood, somebody I really spent a lot of time with. I think he got a great game. Another dude named JP Thornton, another just like super hungry, like great ball striker. You know what I mean? Just a great player. But yeah, I'm gonna be spending more time around all those guys, and I'll definitely be reporting back. You know what I mean? As far as who I think is kind of like ready and next up.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking to us, Roger. We appreciate everything. As someone who grew up with a lot of friends telling me how uncool golf was, I really appreciate you making golf cool. And I just think you're onto a lot of great things, man. If there's anything we can do at NewClub to support, where can our members find you? Where can folks look you up at?
No, I just spend all my time on Instagram, man. So like, yeah, just if you got an Instagram account, you find me on there. It's Roger_Steele. And if you hit me in my DMs, be prepared for like a response back and have some shit to say. You know what I mean? It's all I ask, Yeah.
Now, is there a threshold though? I mean, I admire the response to DMs, but like, you're growing those followers. Does it get just unmanageable for you. Maybe you get an
Yeah.
assistant at that time, right?
Well, I would like to like, cause it's just, you never know who you're gonna meet. And like, I try to like read between the lines when people say certain things. And so like, I don't want to miss opportunities for like certain conversations and interest to meet interesting people. And it's like, you'd be like one connection away from helping somebody with something that they really want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a software engineer. Like, oh, yo, I know this dude that has a startup that need, like, I'm gonna just connect y'all real quick. And so like what I do is just like, I try to allocate like an hour and a half a day. And so far that's been like fine. Where I'll just sit down and just like go through, DMs and just like, make sure I say something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, as long as it don't get much beyond that, I don't have no problem like winding down the day and doing stuff like that.
Well, you're a good man. Make sure you make time for your own golf game though, right? A lot of eyes
Yeah,
now.
that's the goal. That's the goal.
You gotta work on it. Do you still have
Yeah,
aspirations of playing? I didn't ask you that either. Are you still trying to you think you're gonna get back out there?
yeah, if I get rich enough, dog, I'm trying to get these companies to cut these checks. You know what I mean? Free me up so I could be out there playing and practicing all the time. Man, I feel like we close. You know what I mean? But yeah, I feel like we close.
It looks good. I don't know if you can tell, Roger, but I'm kind of a physical specimen myself.
Right?
I'm kind of known, just like you. I'm known for the long ball. So
yeah.
I feel you. I know where you're coming from here.
The long hair and the narrow shoulders give it away, dog. You look like you beat the ball, dog. You know what I mean?
I'm sneaky. I'm like dental floss. I'm skinny but tough. You'll see. We'll get a game this summer. All right? We'll get a game this summer.
That's a good one, dog.
Roger, thanks, man. This was fun.
Yeah, man, it was. I appreciate you, bro.
Thanks for coming on. We'll talk to you soon.